15 years ago, a woman named Jill Price sent an initial email to neuroscientists at the UCI stating how she needed help and clarification with her unusual memory. Essentially, she described it in the same way that I myself and virtually everyone else with HSAM does. Price described it as being very draining, involuntary, uncontrollable, and something that most people can't relate with in any way. So a team of researchers at the UCI, led by Dr. James McGarth, did a series of research tests and interviews with Price. This was done over several years, and it began almost immediately as her email got responded to within 2 hours. Though it was in February 2006 when their findings were released to the world by the publication of an article in NeuroCase. Since then, more people, including myself, have become participants for their research. As well, there are a few other research teams from around the world, including the University of Hull in the UK, who have also begun their own studies of HSAM. The findings are also branching out into other areas of neuropsychology. Studies of people with memories that can seem endless have existed in the past, however. The most well-known would be the case of a man named Solomon Shereshevsky, who was studied by Soviet neuropsychologist Alexander Luria. I've researched his case just as much as I have done Jill Price's. In the 1920s, Solomon was a young journalist who never took notes during his interviews, but he could still remember what he was being told word by word. His editor noticed this and was amazed, though he would still get told off for not doing his job properly. Even so, he sent Shereshevsky to the neuropsychologist Alexander Luria in order for him to have his unusual memory tested. Luria studied Solomon Shereshevsky over many years, and in 1968 he published a book called Mind of a Mnemonist, which was about his case. A lot of the tests he was given were fairly similar to what HSAM participants are getting given, except his memory was related to synaesthesia, which has quite a few differences from HSAM. Synaesthesia is often given the name union of the senses, because due to a cross-wiring of the brain, different senses mix together with others. For instance, hearing a song can make one experience a particular taste. Synaesthetes also tend to have a much larger capacity for memorizing lists of words and numbers than most other people. HSAM, on the other hand, is quite different. Their memories do go back far, though they're not attached to or get triggered by any additional sense. Also, our short-term memory tends to be quite poor, so we don't do nearly as well with immediately reciting lists and sequences. HSAM is basically an inability for the brain to discard long-term memories for a reason as yet unknown.